Hot dog.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
That's a song?
Mickey Mouse Playhouse.
Oh, man. I had no idea.
I have kids. That's why.
Nice.
I have 27 children, and I live in a shoe.
Man.
Anyways, what is the question of the day? Does physical attraction matter when choosing a lifelong partner? I told you.
The angle. It was the angle. So does physical attraction matter when choosing a lifelong partner? Now, it's funny that she said lifelong, right, folks? Because to me, physical attraction would matter more in the short term than the long term.
You think so?
Oh, yes, because things happen. People happen. Life happens.
Okay, so then the question is lifelong partner. So, does physical attraction matter in your lifelong partner?
I would have to say yes. But it is a spectrum answer.
I mean, explain. That's why we're on a podcast and not a TikTok.
So it's a spectrum answer because there's a range in attraction. And with that, because humans are the byproduct of change itself, and then, of course, create that in their own lives, we cannot expect physicality to be stagnant or remain the same. And for men, at least, to get to an attractive level physically, we don't hit puberty and say, I've arrived. Look at me, world. We can't do that.
I mean, some men.
Maybe in the face. For instance, I just watched his, the fact that he's being canceled, Matt Rife.
I was thinking about Matt Rife when you said that because he was like, something happened when I hit puberty.
Yeah. No, yeah, Matt Rife is a great example. But he, in all fairness, he might have hit height and had great face. But I'm willing to bet that his abs and definition that he has is a routine that he's maintained. And
I think he played sports, did he not?
There you go.
So,
see that?
I mean...
So, again...
But he kind of had it. He kind of had it because he played sports.
Correct. Well, yeah.
I could be wrong, but I believe he said something about playing sports.
Yeah, so, I mean, he might have had a good frame on him, right? I'm guessing he's tall. I mean, because women don't like short dudes right now. But
unless they got...
See? It is what it is, folks.
I'm not talking about me. I mean, I don't want no broke.
Yeah.
But
in her defense, you're very open-minded. You're very fair. You'll work with somebody that might be vertically challenged if they have other attributes.
Okay, but I don't want someone who's 5'2".
No.
I'm sorry. I'm 4'11". Can you at least give me like 5'5"?
5'6". 5'6".
Okay, 5'6". I can work with 5'5", 5'6".
See,
I like to wear 6-inch heels. I don't want to be taller than you when I wear them. 6-inch platforms. Okay, women look better in heels. My opinion.
They do.
But I don't really want. It's okay for the same height. Maybe 5'5". I could be like a little bit. He could wear a hat. Okay, it's fine. Like he could have some hair. Okay, something where there's an option. But I mean, I don't want someone who's 5'2".
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fair. Now, and here's the thing. The reason she's saying this from a biological narrative is because do you really have the confidence in a 5'2" man being able to physically defend you in the event that something were to happen?
Speaking of biological.
Because your height also determines your reach. So, how are you going to defend against somebody that's 6 foot? And I'm not talking in modern terms, my friends. I'm speaking biologically, which means without weapons.
Okay, short women tend to be more fertile, which is why men are more attracted to them.
Whoa, what? Are you kidding me?
From a biological standpoint, you know what I'm saying?
I did not know that shorter women would be more fertile. Like, that's interesting. Why? What? But, like, if it said, wider women or something, with the hips thing, that'd make perfect sense to me. But shorter? How fascinating.
Look, I don't make the studies. I just read them. I like how zoomed in. It should have zoomed in on me.
What?
The camera zoomed in. You laughed, and I was like,
yeah, no, that was your moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Come on, camera.
It was my moment.
Yeah.
So you say physical attraction does not matter.
No, God, no. It's not that it doesn't matter. It does matter.
It matters less.
It matters on a spectrum. So this is a quantitative answer, and I'm speaking like this because my spiritual mentor taught me how to answer things with both yes and no. Because at the end of the day, it does matter, but it matters differently because you're just talking long term. So as time progresses, physicality matters differently. Starting off, okay. So starting off, physicality matters in the format of, is this book...
Who, now, how?
Is this book got a nice enough front page that I would want to pick it up? Does it attract me to pick up the book so that I can read its pages? Okay. So physicality of this book, who, not how. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Let me see what this is talking about. Let me get to know it. See that? So, yes, physicality matters. Now, long term, which means me reading this book to its entirety. Now, what does that depend on? Well, the physicality has to be maintained, right? So I would say, let's talk about that. That's a different thing. First, we were talking about outside. Now let's talk about the rest of the physicality. Do the pages feel good? What the texture of the pages? The sound it makes as I flip through the pages, right? The physicality.
What about when the texture and the pages get worn?
Oh, great question. This is where
they still feel as good.
This is a great question because I'm black, so my hands are oily from eating fried chicken. So that's okay.
He don't even eat fried chicken, y'all. He don't even know what oxtails are.
From the last episode. Oh goodness, I had to throw that one in there, guys. I do that sometimes. No, seriously. No, seriously though, the human's hands does have oils on them, and so obviously over time using the pages, they're gonna get blotchy, oily. They're gonna worn down, or I might accidentally rip the page. Right, there's rips and tears.
Oh, you're gonna rip and tear? Yeah, the pages.
Just because I'm aggressive, right? So, how at that point does physicality begin to matter differently? Simple. I can only speak for men, but it has to be maintained. It adjusts. I know that as I speak for myself, physicality matters.
But when you rip and tear and oil up the pages, and how is that? You did it. How is that maintained?
Well, how would you maintain it? Is the question, right?
You wear gloves. If you're talking about book.
I mean, I don't know if I would wear gloves. My thing is this.
You handle with care.
You can handle with care, but I would say that in that narrative, the physicality changes where I would begin to see that this book has been used. And so then...
But you used it.
In the example of... Because that was being said that the pages were being used and the physicality would change based on it being used. However, when we begin to look at things such as antiques, what becomes attractive about the antique, because we're talking about time passing, is its wornness. Which is to say, as you guys can reference...
That vintage look that we always go for.
Boom. Right there. So, for instance, as I become an old man, right, I'll be salt and pepper. Some women that find that attractive, right? I become seasoned, right? So, physicality matters on a spectrum because what we find attractive changes over the time frame. And that's why, to me, it's a spectrum versus yes or no. Because... as I become an old man, right, my salt and pepper hair becomes attractive. Me having bulgy muscles and being Mr. Hulk might not matter as much, right? However, my style, right, may change, or what I use to distinguish myself, like hoodie culture. That's hot if you're a teenager, maybe up to 21. But then after that point, you're as a man at least, a man is expected to be.
I'm taking all of your hoodies, and they are now mine. If you are a man and I borrow your hoodie, you're not getting it back. Hoodie culture, I'm taking them. Even at 30, however old I am taking your hoodie. And it is now mine. Continue.
Wow.
I'm just letting you know. That's buy two. Buy two. Buy two.
What is that about? What started... that?
I don't know, but I did it on my own, and then I started seeing memes about it, and I'm like, yes, I just did it because I want your hoodie.
What happens when a guy doesn't have a hoodie?
Is he even worth having at all?
Ooh.
Just asking. Okay, so with this, there is something where people are saying, and this term is crazy. I'm going to answer that question a little bit, but medium ugly.
What?
Okay, so there's this thing where they're like, is it true that ladies should get a medium ugly man because they treat you better?
When did they start using that phrase?
That's what I'm saying. I'm curious because, you're talking about, okay, medium ugly. First of all, that means that he might not be a 10 on looks, but he's still attractive. So y'all are saying medium ugly when he's still attractive. How about I'd be like, he's cute. He might not be fine or sexy, but he's cute. He's attractive. So you still want an attractive man, whatever medium ugly is. Like, you still want this attractive man, right? So it's crazy that people, I don't know. It's crazy to me that people use that term. I
will say this. It doesn't surprise me at all because of hypergamy being the way it is, that if he's not a 10, he's not good enough because, unfortunately, Disney
they don't be 10s. Continue.
Yeah, well, 8 or above. How about that? If he's not 8 or above, then the princess fantasy can't come to life. So then they're already butthurt because he's not somebody they can brag about. But again, this goes back to, what's attractive, unfortunately, is lost.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you and ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is my number scale?
Your number scale?
1 to 10. What am I?
Well, I would put you at a 8, honestly. Now, again, she didn't ask me how or where, but I put her
I know
at
it's
8.
subjective. I personally think that I am a 7.
Okay.
I've been a real life model. Yeah, and I'm getting paid for it.
Nice.
And they sought me out.
That's really cool.
So the thing is that, I weigh more now. That's part of the reason why I'm going to the gym, working out. I shouldn't weigh as much as I do. I don't think I should, because health comes with being overweight. For my age, I think that I'm definitely I'm not 21. But I'm not talking about, there's a lot of guys I talk to. It's funny because you hear Red Pill Spaces talk about divorce. Mm-hmm. And they'll say, oh yeah, cheating's divorce, but then is it okay for you to cheat? No, I've heard multiple people who talk about this say these girls were asking, well, what if he's putting his hands on you? And 3 of these guys were like, oh, well, maybe you don't need to leave for that.
And goes into a marriage and has kids when they're 18, 19, 20. And then a year into the relationship, it gets really, really bad.
From who?
From both.
This is so rare.
Anyone
so
really.
Rare.
Go on. Go on.
My
point is, even though it might be rare from what you guys think,
it is.
If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people to do? Would they divorce, or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going.
You can't divorce. I mean, that's not a real thing. You can separate. See, his Catholic background shines through. He knows. You can't divorce. You can separate, but you can't actually divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick into the relationship.
People are just.
Look,
people nowadays
be honest.
are just pussies. Everybody fucking quit.
I was almost killed by my second husband. And actually, the funny thing is, he said I deserve better and left me. And I was thankful because, it would have been me. It would have been me. He almost did it once. I said, you could choose me or alcohol. Then he broke in and he told me he chose the alcohol over me. And that's okay. He was going through stuff and that's the choice that he made, and it's okay. And so technically he left me anyways, which in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, I think it's first, it could be second, but it's Corinthians chapter 7. It talks about, if the unbelieving spouse wants to leave, let him leave. And what I've learned and how I've interpreted unbelieving spouse, sometimes people will live like an unbeliever even though they would die and go to heaven. Now, that could be crazy because if you believe on Jesus Christ, you believe with your heart and confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus has raised from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the mouth man confesses unto salvation, with the mouth man confesses unto salvation, with the heart. All of a sudden I drew a blank. Anyways, Romans 10, 9, 10. Look it up. So, but with that, I think you can be saved. And something can vary. You could backslide. I don't believe you can lose your salvation, and so you can live like an unbeliever. We're like, oh yeah, cheating. No. If you cheat, you can get divorced. But is it when the man cheats or only when the woman cheats?
And then the wife starts cheating. Do you think they should divorce?
Absolutely.
They should divorce then?
Jesus himself
You don't
said.
think
But it wasn't
Jesus,
illegal.
hold on. Jesus
And you
himself
could like
said.
work things through, right?
Jesus himself said, in cases of adultery, divorce is
So you think that
permissible.
divorce is worse than physical abuse?
For the
Or
children,
cheating, sorry. You think that
Cheating is
cheating
worse
is worse
than
than
physical
physical
abuse.
abuse?
for the
Sorry.
children, yes.
Absolutely
I think I'm not going to
Okay,
say
no,
this is
divorce-
worse.
divorce
I
is
mean,
worse for the
I
children.
already
Is
said
cheating
I already
worse than
said that
physical
if a
Cheating,
woman's
yeah.
getting abused, yeah, I think she should leave. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a brief temporary thing, like
What if it's mental abuse?
Okay, now
Do you think
let's
if
cut
it's